Well, let's continue today with the Lead with Love uh, on the Thursday edition. For self-publishing, we'll talk a little bit more about self-publishing, especially concerning Lulu.com. But we'll also talk about Amazon publishing, Kindle publishing, and then we'll hit some more hot spots in the world. I forgot a few that I did on the Tuesday show, so we'll do that on today's show. And that's what we'll talk about today on Lead with Love. Welcome aboard. Hi, everybody. My name is Chris Greco. I will be your host for the next 20 to 30 minutes, talking about different things having to do with learn, offer, value, and educate, which is on my logo in Latin. The logo is up, this direction, right here. There we go. Right there. And that is a trademark logo. Trademark it myself. One day I think I'll do that on a show. I'll show you the trademark, what it's called, the USP PTO, the United States Patent Trademark Office.gov, uspto.gov, and we'll go through some of that. A lot of people are hiring lawyers for this, and let me tell you something. There's really no need to hire a lawyer. If you read the directions and you fill out the form correctly, and we'll go through the different forms, different aspects, different things you want to look up, that type of thing. And we'll go through those. You can also see this on uspto.gov. They also have a video on that. We'll go through a step-by-step process and show you how to file a trademark. It is not that hard. It costs about $275, something like that, $300 to file one. A trademark is not a copyright, and we'll go into those differences and all those types of things in that show. But today, let's talk about self-publishing first. And what we'll do is we'll talk about different aspects about it. But what I'd like to do is just go through some of these step-by-step process at lulu.com, just to take you through some of the immediate steps here. So let's start out, and let's just go ahead and go to lulu.com, which we'll go to right now. And it's relatively easy. You get there, and what'll happen is that there's products, there's pricing, there's book pricing you can create. So you see it says create a free account. That's the first thing you have to do. You have to create a free account, and it's free. They don't charge you anything for this account. You can leave this account on as long as you want. Now, I'm going to tell you a quick story, and I may have told you this story before about a guy. His name was Goldberg, and basically what happened is that he wanted to take all the poems that he had, and he had drawings on them and everything else, and wanted to recopy them and wanted to put them into a book. Well, what we did together was we scanned them, put them into a book. He created a free account, put that into the book aspect, and I bought one of his books. And he died shortly thereafter. He died like we did the book in about a week and a half. Because he already had it written, and then we published it. And then he wanted to go through and do some table of contents, whatever else. He called me on a Thursday. I had to go someplace. Thursday. Came back on Tuesday. He died on Friday, but he had written a book. So the book is out there. I mean, his legacy is out there, which I think is pretty important. And I thought I'd tell you that story not from a standpoint of doom and gloom aspect. I hate to do that, but what he wrote lives on. I mean, it lives on in the book and lives on in people that buy the book. So I have a copy of his book. His name will always be part of, my library. So that's kind of cool. So the first thing you do is create a free account, and that's important. But before you do all that, go through some of this stuff. Sell business to business, resources. The resources stuff, really, really good stuff. Templates, different things you can get from that. I mean, templates are they're word templates. You can download them, and then you put your book on that template, and that template automatically fits into one of their book categories, which is really nice. The normal category is 6x9, standard paperback, and it works really well. It does. It works really, really well. So just want to let you know. So you create a free account, right? So what I did was I had created a free account. and I went ahead and signed in. Now I'm going to skip the sign in portion of it. And once you sign in, you're going to see a little bit different screen here. So you'll see things like my projects, my stores, my account, all these things. Now this is a brand new account that I set up, and I wanted to show you what happens with the newest account. Pricing, you can price you can do a lot of things. And the area here is you can also, it says start your project. So we're gonna go ahead and start a project, because I just wanted to show you what type of things are available. So there's print book, photo book, comic book, which is kind of cool. I think it's neat. Magazine, yearbook, or calendar. So you can do any of those things that you want, which is really kind of cool. So you pick one. Most cases you'll pick a print book, but you can pick any of these. Now once you do this, my recommendation is always to go to the resources and okay, and then you can either publish or print your book. But remember that screen that said resources, really, really, really important. The resources give you a lot of different things. And I'll tell you what, let's, just for the sake of it, I was going to, let me go ahead and do, we're going to go into Kindle publishing here in a second, but let me just go into lulu.com and show you what I mean by these resources, which is really cool. Guides and templates, author toolkit, hire a pro. You can actually hire somebody to help you with the thing. Glossary of publishing terms, Lulu University, which is like a course type thing where you do a course on writing, a course on how to publish, a course on how to do your book, a course on color, a course on all that stuff. Different blogs, knowledge base. Knowledge base is pretty complete, and you can contact support. I'll tell you, one of the weakest points is contacting support. That's, they get back to you real quick, but they have no phone number. So you have to do it by email. And that they're usually, like I said, they're usually pretty quick about that stuff, but you have to be very, very specific as to what you want. And if you're not very specific on what you want help with, they don't really give you a really good answer. But the nice thing about Lulu is if you're the least bit computer savvy, you will be able to get through this, and you'll be able to actually troubleshoot your own issues. But the guides and templates is the one I go with. And look at this. I mean, it's a tutorial, formatting guides, different. I mean, how you can book creation guide. You can download the entire guide, right? Download guide, global distribution guide, requirements and guidance, book design templates, and this is where your book size is, right? So here's, I mean, you can A5, which is European. Royal comic book, executive, 7 by 10, small square, 7.5 by 7.5. This is what I do my children's books in, which is really kind of cool. Square, US letter, that's the biggest. That's a big one. Small landscape, landscape. They have here's your US trade, which is 6 by 9, and then once you choose it, then you can download it from here. So, and then you can use any pricing calculator. If you know your page count, you can say, look, what's a print book. So you can do a print book, and then you can figure out what your page count is. Select a book size, and we're going to go with US trade. My page count is going to be I don't know, 120. Interior color, we're just going to have a black and white. Premium will do. Paper type, we'll do nice 60 white. We'll do a paperback and matte finish, and the cost per book, it gives you, boom, there it is. So your cost per book is going to be $5.89. 120 pages. You're going to have a cover page, black and white premium, 60 pound white, paperback, matte cover finish. You can download the cover template. You can download templates and presets, really nice. So you can download all this stuff. You're all set. You're all set for the 6 by 9. All you have to do is, okay, let's do it this way. Here, we're gonna download a template. So we're gonna download the template. It's gonna download it here. Now, when I download this, it's actually pretty cool. It goes into a zip file, right? So and then you unzip it, and it'll show you the different templates. And these templates are usually in Word. So now you can just get into Word, open that up, and literally start typing. It's a template, and then you save it as a docx, right, for the doc, for the Microsoft doc, and that's it. I mean, it's really kind of cool. Now I'm going to tell you that a lot of people sit there and say, "Well, I don't have Word, Chris." All right. So remember last time I think I talked about uh, Office Libre, right? So I talked about Office Libre. There's also another one called Open Office, and that's the one I have. Is Open Office. It's I think it's Apache. You can download Open Office. Again, make sure make sure that you check it. Most of the stuff I download is checked automatically by my McAfee Web Advisor, which is really nice. But it's checked. Once it's checked, then you can do all kind of good things with this. And one of those good things is you can put in, let me just show you. I guess best thing to do is Open Office. I should have Open Office. There it is, Open Office Writer. And let me show you what that's going to look like. And the Open Office Writer, when you get this, it's free. Okay, it's what they call an open source. It's called open source, and because it's open source, you don't have to pay anything. And you have to, but again, it's Open Office 4. This is probably an older version. So when you open this up, this is what it's going to look like, and it's going to look like this. Does that look familiar? Yeah, it does. Here's your text. Here's everything there. You can type in what you want. I mean, it works really well. And then and you can do different aspects with it. You can do style, formatting. You can do arrows, headlines, tables, text frames, graphics, hyperlinks, anything anything that basically Word can do, this thing can do. Now it's open source, so it's not going to be as robust as Microsoft Office, Microsoft Word, but it's free. And this is this is something you can use. And people sit there and say, yeah, but if it's free, how do I save it? Well, you can save as, right? So I can save as, and watch what I can save this as. I can save this as an open text document, or guess what? Microsoft Word. I can do Microsoft Word 97 2000 XP, rich text format. So there's a lot of things I can do this, and this is your doc. And then once you save it into a doc, you can use this. You could save it. I think you can save it into a PDF. You can't. But if you have any type, and this is one of the things where, again, you don't have the you can't. Yeah. So what happens is that you can't save it as a PDF. You can save it as a PDF in Microsoft Word. You'd have to have either Adobe Acrobat, which you can get, and I talked about this before with now you can get Adobe Acrobat in an older version through what they call direct deals. Now I'm putting direct deals up. That's probably just one of the things, but direct deals is I bought software from Direct Deals. It's good. I haven't been messed over by them. They don't have any type. I've checked to make sure that the stuff is valid. I've checked to make sure that it's legal. Everything is good on the ones that I bought. So it's worked out very well, and it comes with the proper documentation and everything in there. So get an older version of Adobe Acrobat, and you can use this. I would absolutely recommend that you get Adobe Acrobat, because it used to be where you can do certain things with Word, but the self-publishing world is no longer taking that. So you're going to have to, when you get ready to upload your book, you're going to have to upload your book in a PDF form. They used to do it in Word, but then I think things happened. There was problems, whatever else. So they've decided that's not the way to go. So this is, there's so much neat stuff here with Lulu. and it's so neat to be able to make that work. So this is what you have. You can print your book now. When you create your book, then when you create your book, either publish your book or print your book. You put in your book details, whatever project title you want. It'll, you can literally, this is the project title. This is the project title. It's not necessarily the title of the book. It can be, and you just put in the book title, and then the language, and then the book category. And that's kind of important because that book category is going to take you to the next step as to what you want, right? So I think that's pretty important. And then they have different English, Middle English, interesting. I put down, it was, I think it was like self-development or something like that. But there's all kind of different categories here: children's, comics, computers, cookbooks, law, personal growth. Okay. Now, once you notice after that, the start is checked. It's got a green check on it right here. With that green check, now you can go into the design aspect. The design aspect is you upload your PDF. See, for our detailed PDF creation instruction. Okay, but this is PDF. That's what you have to have. Is you got to have your PDF there. And then any type of book specifications, book size, count, and that'll come up with your template. You got to do the PDF off of your template, and once you do that, then it'll kick on as to what type of book it is. And then when you're all done, it'll come up as your as a project. So I mean, that's it. I mean, self-publishing comes up as a project. It's draft now. You can revise it, or you can keep creating, and that we'll go into stuff. But this is nice: sales and payments, create a project, promote your projects, all these things. Lulu does give you a lot of material to be able to use to be able to have that. So I just wanted to go through this area and show you some of the different things that are available there, because I think it's pretty important to be able to make that work. So I mean, don't ever think that you're stuck, right? Because you're really not stuck. It's not something that is going to, I mean, like I said, Lulu will help you out here. They'll be able to keep you going from that standpoint. Now, the other thing that I wanted to show you was I wanted to show you Kindle Direct Publishing. And Kindle Direct Publishing is you set up your account, and then my account, they wanted like birthday, they wanted bank account, that type of thing. I just don't go into for that stuff. Lulu didn't ask you for that. They ask you for an email address, and they give you a password. So once you get into that and you get into the book, you can go into it says, what would you like to create? So what I did was I went into home and create, manage, and publish. And notice the account information is not complete because I don't have, like I said, Lulu doesn't want your bank account. If you want to give them to them, fine, but you don't have to have it. They'll send you a check for your royalties, which is great. And they're only going to send you royalties after a certain amount. So you may say, oh, I got $10 worth of royalties. You're not going to get that until it hits a certain amount. Then they'll send out a check. It's just administrative costs. So this is what you have here. You can create something. So once you create it, then it takes you to this screen. And this screen is, what would you like to create? Kindle ebook, paperback, hardcover, series page, all these different things that you have. And it's right, you create a paperback, and once you create a paperback, it'll come up and it'll say, okay, here's your details. Book title, subtitle, series, edition number, author, contributors, description, publishing rights. It says, I own the copyright and I hold necessary publishing rights. See, with Lulu, they'll say, do you want a copyright on this? Do you want an open domain, or public domain, or do you want something else? This doesn't quite do it, and they're really big on the sexually explicit limits. Images or titles. They want you to make sure that you transparency on that. Adult only stuff, keywords, publication date, release date are the same. My book was previously published. Release date, release my book for sale now, and then that'll go into Amazon. Understand though, the Lulu will put you into Amazon. They will give you an Amazon release. You just need to prove your copy so they go into global distribution. So, I mean, this is nice. I've dealt with Lulu for a long time. If you want to, it's KDP. That's .amazon.com, and that is the Kindle publishing. So that's it with that. What I wanted to do next was I just wanted to point out a couple of hotspots real quick that I forgot to pick out the last time. And I'm sorry about that. And so I just wanted to make sure that we have, that you guys understand what's going on. There's a lot of things that are happening in the world, and unfortunately, the media only just, it's I call them that, but they're basically balloon squeezers. Whatever's happening at that point in time, usually, and this is very biased of me with having to do with media, but the media will create chaos so they can report chaos. This is what they do. If there's no news, they're going to make news, and they're going to make news by putting chaos into play. A good example of this is runway incursions. And I'll cover this on the Tuesday, next Tuesday, Lead with Love. But the runway incursions is basically, when one plane is landing, another plane's taking off, and they almost hit each other, and that type of thing is called runway incursions. There's different types. That's just one. One is coming off taxiway into an active runway while somebody's landing, and things like that. Those are incursions, and they made a big deal out of runway incursions. Well, I'll show you. Just in September 2023, there were 640,000 flights. So you're telling me that somewhere along the line, they had I think 56 incursions, and everybody's going crazy. It's like if you take a percentage of probability of that, it's really, 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 really low, considering how many takeoffs and how many landings there really were. So we'll talk about that the next time about media hyperbole. But in the meantime, what I want to do is make sure and cover this before we get off. And that is the situation in Serbia and Kosovo. And this is really important, really important. So here is Serbia here, and here is Kosovo here. Serbia and Kosovo. Now, I want to make sure that you all understand very clearly. When you have a red line like this, this is red means bad. Red means basically that there's some dispute over these situations here, and Serbia is saying basically that they want all Kosovars out of Serbia. Well, that's fine, but they're also putting some limitations on Kosovars working in Serbia. There's just been an election in Serbia. The guy who took charge, he's kind of an enigma. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. He seems to be open more to possibility of dealing with Kosovo, but this was a major issue during the Bosnia-Herzegovina situation in the 1990s. And basically what happened was Milosevic, who was a dictator and just a barbarian, I think, ended up dying of a heart attack before he could get sentenced up in the International Criminal Court. But he ended up doing ethnic cleansing against the Kosovo. They wanted them all out of there, all into where? Albania, because that's where most of the Kosovars come from, is Albania. They're trying to force them down through into Albania again. So it's really a sad situation, and this is a definite hotspot to look for in 2024. Another hotspot, which is really interesting, and I'm probably the only one that's going to say this, but there's a trail between the mountains of Spain and France, and that trail is being disputed as whether it's French or Spanish, and that was where a lot of people were they were escaping from during World War II into Spain, which was interesting. Spain was neutral because Francisco Franco was big into that at that point in time. But there's a storm brewing between France and Spain on this issue, and it'll be interesting to see how France does this. In addition, there was just a law passed in France that curtails immigration, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. They also just tried and convicted a Rwandan doctor who was a big part of the genocide in Rwanda. Gave him 24 years in prison. So it'll be interesting to see how all this works, because Britain is getting ready to take individuals and ship them, the immigrants, down to Rwanda, which is very, very interesting, because Rwanda is here and Uganda's here, Tanzania is here, Kenya, this is all part of East Africa. And then you have the DRC here, which is in a lot of issues with Rwanda over incursions by Rwandan insurgents into the DRC. So it'll be interesting to see how it all works and how they're going to stay safe in Rwanda. So all these things are happening, and they're definite hotspots specifically for 2024. On that note, I will bid you adieu, and hope for the Tuesday edition of Lead with Love, we'll talk some more about self-publishing, any more hotspots I come up with, or any situations happening in the world. And we'll talk about this data when it talks about incursions, runway incursions, and show you how specifically that we should not be concerned with runway incursions, growth or no growth, because as people grow, as people travel, as flights grow, you're going to get more runway incursions. That's a very small probability. And with the air traffic controllers doing the best they can, I think it's very important to be able to understand, their very, very tough job and how that all works. So have a great holiday season. I will see you probably after the new year. And until that time, please learn from people, offer anything you can for people, value individuals, and educate them as well as you can, and get educated yourself. That's very important. So for Lead with Love, this is Chris Greco saying, have a very, very Merry Christmas. Take care.